I realized something. This movie came out on the same day as Interstellar, which is a Christopher Nolan movie, and you all know it's my favorite movie of 2014. And despite this movie releasing on the same day as a Nolan movie, it still made money, and I'm pretty sure Interstellar had more hype than Big Hero 6. And this year, they're doing the same thing. Disney is doing the same thing with Wish, releasing it on the same day as a Ridley Scott movie, Napoleon, which is highly anticipated, probably even more anticipated than Wish. So if Big Hero 6 made money at the box office despite releasing on the same day as a Christopher Nolan movie, then maybe Wish will make money despite releasing on the same day as a Ridley Scott movie. Yeah. Isn't that a coincidence? So yeah, hey guys, this is Frozen Being Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing a review on Big Hero 6. So Big Hero 6 came out in the year 2014 and is the fifth Disney revival era film, and is based on the Marvel comics. And yes, you heard me right. Big Hero 6 is based on a Marvel comic and is directed by Chris Williams and Don Hall. Chris Williams directed Bolt and the Seabees, very recognizable director despite making some not very recognized films, and also Don Hall, who directed Princess and the Frog. No, wait, not Princess and the Frog. Raya and the Last Dragon, which is very underrated, and Strange World and Winnie the Pooh, and it stars Ryan Potter, Scott Adsit, Daniel Henney, T.J. Miller, Jamie Chung, Damon Wayans Jr., Genesis Rodriguez, James Cromwell, Alan Tudyk, Maya Rudolph, Abraham Benrubi, Kate Lowes, etc. And so basically, the plot for this movie, it tells the story of this young boy named Hiro Hamada, who's a genius. He graduated high school when he was 13. How is that even possible, by the way? But he spends most of his life after high school bot fighting and betting on money, and so. Yeah, Tadashi scolds Hiro and wants Hiro to actually do something with his life, or maybe even go to college. Tadashi is a college student, take note of that. A college student like me. And so Tadashi shows Hiro his lab, and his life changes in that one scene when Tadashi shows Hiro his lab. Yes, we meet the main characters, but Hiro's life truly changes when he meets Baymax. Baymax, who is a robot. Tadashi's a healthcare robot. Yeah, I think you know where I'm going with this. Yeah, he's a robot, and yeah. So one day, Hiro wanted to get into the same college as Tadashi. So yeah, he presents to them an invention, which is his microbots, which is very cool, but. And Callahan was blown away, so Hiro gets accepted, I think. But one day Tadashi dies in a fire accident when he was trying to save Callahan's life. But yeah, but then suddenly Tadashi dies in a fire, and so Hiro becomes very sad and depressed, and so he gets depressed. He has this grief over that she's lost, and now Baymax accompanies Hiro, and so Hiro is out to get revenge when he learns that the guy who killed Tadashi is actually the guy that Masi finds in this warehouse, and so yeah, he becomes a superhero. He also invites his friends, Gogo, Fred, Wasabi, and Honey Lemon. He invites him over to help him stop the mask guy, and yeah, they become superheroes. So yeah, that is a plot of the movie. So yeah, fun fact, guys, Big Hero 6 was actually the first movie I was actually hyped for. So yeah, I have very good memories with this movie because yeah, usually back then I don't usually say if I'm excited for a movie or not. I just go in this movie like, okay, it's a movie, it's a new movie. I'm interested in it, so I'll just watch it. So I'll just watch it and then see if it's good, see if I like it or not. Yeah, but I never really got in the mindset of oh, I'm excited for this movie. I can't wait. I want to see it. Only like when I'm convinced. I was like, okay, I'll see it, but I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad. But Big Hero 6, I was waiting for this movie. I was like so incredibly hyped for this movie because I don't know, maybe because it's a superhero movie and a Disney animated movie, and I really love the comparison there. Even though I didn't even grow up with The Incredibles, if you're wondering, like, it's not because of that movie. And yes, I mean, we rarely get any superhero animated movies. I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, and also I saw a special screening of this movie. And I mean, a premiere of this movie. I saw a premiere with and I even took my friends to see it. Yeah, this was actually the first time, the first movie where I brought my friends to see a movie. Normally I watch it with my family, but this is the first movie that I saw with my friends. So back then, this was actually my favorite theatrical experience ever. And man, it was in such a full theater. Despite it being small, it did look new. So yeah, I had a very good theatrical experience with this. And yeah, back then this was one of those movies that was actually my favorite movie of all time back then. Yeah, I had this very interesting history with favorite movies. I might actually do a video on that. I might do a video on the evolution of my favorite movies because I had this evolution. Maybe on my birthday. I'd love to do that. Yeah, it's either that or my updated top 10 favorite movies of all time list. But we'll see where that goes. Or maybe I could do both. I don't know. But yeah, Big Hero 6 was one of those movies that really that I have such nostalgic memories for. Even though I was like 10 years old when this movie came out, I don't care. It still feels very nostalgic seeing this movie, obsessing about it, and even having a Big Hero 6 cake on my birthday. Yeah, Big Hero 6 theme where I put a bunch of Big Hero 6 characters on the cake, and yeah, it was such a great experience with that. And this is also one of those movies I memorized every single lines, like at least 90% of it. Like I don't know if I can think of some lines right now to quote, but maybe I'll quote them throughout the review when I share my thoughts. But yeah, I still want to share my history first. But yeah, yeah, I had such a great history of this movie. I continue to rewatch this movie even with 2015 and so on and so forth. I still continue to support this movie. And every time I rewatch this movie, I never get tired of it. I like in this present day of age, I rewatched this movie 3 times. As far as I can remember, one in 2020, another time in 2021, as part of my another Disney marathon leading up to Raya and the Last Dragon, and now today, yeah, just like literally, I started recording my review ASAP after I watched the movie, so it is completely fresh in my mind. And yeah, and yes, this movie got critically acclaimed at the time. It won Best Animated Feature. It won Best Animated Feature. Yes, in the same year as same year as what I consider the best year for animation, 2014. Yeah, this one right here won Best Animated Feature. And I know it's probably one of the most controversial years because everyone's saying, oh, How to Train Dragon 2 should have won. I mean, How to Train Dragon 2 is the best in the trilogy, so I wouldn't mind that one won, but Big Hero 6 was well deserved. Although, yeah, it was also very controversial due to the snub of the Lego movie and nominating instead that overrated piece of garbage, the box turds. I may rant on the box turds at some point. Maybe in Lego movies at 10th anniversary, actually. When I review Lego movie and then I'll rant about how it got snubbed thanks to box turds, and then I'll rant on box turds. Yeah, that's one of my plans for February 2024, aka the Lego movies at 10th anniversary. 10th anniversary. But yeah, yeah, Big Hero 6 actually deserved it though. I mean, I was very happy that this movie won. And yeah, but nowadays, people seem to underestimate this movie. Yeah, this movie is actually underrated now. Like, people are underrating this movie. Yeah, it still has the same critical rate, but here's the thing. no one talks about this movie anymore. Like the people who love this movie don't talk about it anymore. I know there are some people who would rank this as their favorite Disney revival age movie, like Ryan O'Toole did. Yeah, shout out to Ryan O'Toole. What happened to that guy, by the way? Like he literally hasn't been on YouTube for more than a year. I wonder what happened to Ryan. Like he really should come back. Yeah, like I actually one time I had this dream with Ryan O'Toole coming back with with the Falling for a Film podcast. Yeah, like I was like browsing through YouTube. I was like, oh, a new episode of Falling for a Film podcast, and yeah, I had a dream of that. Yeah, so yeah, shout out to Ryan O'Toole, by the way, for having this as his favorite Disney revival age movie. And but many people say that this is mid. Those who talk about this movie that say, oh, it's mediocre, it's not that good, it doesn't age well, like yada yada. Honestly, I don't get it. I mean, yeah, sure, it pales in comparison to the other superhero animated movies. But let's be real, there's never a miss. Yeah, I mean, we don't get a lot of superhero animated movies nowadays. I mean, it ain't as good as the Spider-Verse movies nor the Incredibles movies, but Big Hero 6, man, deserves better, man. It deserves so much better. And I gotta say, that this movie freaking aged well. I absolutely adore Big Hero 6. I think this movie is a masterpiece. And it is without question my favorite animated movie of 2014. And we've got some incredible animated movies of 2014. Although I think earlier I called 2014 the best animated year for animation ever. Actually, no, it's not. It is my favorite year for animation in the last decade. Especially with films like, you know, a Lego Movie, How to Train Dragon 2, the underrated gem that is Book of Life, just so many others you can think of. But yeah, actually 2023 is actually my favorite year for animation because this year is gold for animation. And I will certainly do a ranking of all animated movies this year. Don't you worry, animation fans. I will do that. I didn't get to do that for last year, but now I'm doing it for this year. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, and also 2002 is better than 2014. Yeah, I mean, besides 2023, I would also consider 2002 as among the best years for animation. But I mean, coming off, you know, the disastrous year for animation that was 2013. Yeah, 2014 just absolutely stepped itself up, and no surprise, a Disney movie, which is the best of these animated films of that year. And yeah, I mean, considering that this is based on a Marvel comic book, this can actually be considered a Marvel movie. Shame it didn't have the Marvel logo. Yeah, but imagine this being a part of the MCU. Like, imagine this and Spider-Verse a crossover. How cool would that be? Since they're both technically from Marvel, although that's gonna cause another conflict between Marvel and Sony if one of those studios wants to pitch the idea. Yeah, there will be a huge conflict, and we don't know if Sony will say yes or not, because you all know how strict Sony is when it comes to Spider-Man rights. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, yeah, this movie's a masterpiece. Oh, and by the way, happy 9th anniversary to Big Hero 6. Yep, I am reviewing this movie on its 9th anniversary. I was actually going to review this movie yesterday and tackle Frozen on last Sunday, but I went to my cousin's house. And unexpectedly came back late at night, so I didn't have time to rewatch and review Frozen. So I was like, okay, I'll just delay all my reviews to the next day. But what a coincidence! I actually ended up reviewing Big Hero 6 for its anniversary, and also, by the way, happy for its 9th anniversary to my favorite movie 2014, Interstellar. Yeah, my favorite movie that year, and my favorite animated movies. My favorite animated movie coming on the same year. I mean, wow, just wow. But yeah, I'm not really. It's not really my intention to review this movie on its 9th anniversary. You all know it's because of my Disney Revival Age reviews leading up to Wish, but it's just a coincidence. But yeah, anyways, now let's get into all the reasons as to why I love Big Hero 6. And I think I'm sure you guys haven't forgotten, and I haven't forgotten. I put this in my top 5 favorite Disney movies. 5, yeah, literally 5, yeah. I had this movie just right below The Lion King. Well, technically now was Zootopia, because Zootopia is now my fourth favorite anime Disney movie of all time. Disney animated movie. Lion King is now second. Third is Encanto, and so technically I would say below Zootopia. This is just below Zootopia. But this is still a number five. And even on rewatch, I still stand by that. Although although maybe I could put Tangled above this, but I'll think about it when I do my ranking. But I will say so. Yeah, that's what I'll say. There is a chance that that Tangled could be placed above this, but I'll have to think about it first. But Big Hero 6 is still a masterpiece. Yeah, but this movie is still a masterpiece, and yeah, what I love about Big Hero 6 is that this movie is very personal to me. This movie is very personal. Yeah, this is a movie that I rewatch on a daily basis, almost on a daily basis back then, and I never get bored with it. I always cared about what's going on, and I'm still able to pick up the dialogue, especially the ones I know very well. And every time I rewatch this movie, I learn new things about it, and that's the beauty of rewatches. You learn something new about the movie, something you didn't realize in your previous watches. Yeah, that is what makes this movie so unique. And yeah, where do I even get started with this? Yeah, first of all, the animation. Yeah. Now, I will say that this isn't one of Disney's best animations. Even Frozen, it has better animation than this, even though this movie is better than Frozen, the first one specifically. But this movie has such great animation, the character designs are all there. I love how colorful this movie can get, especially with the suits and all that stuff. And I especially love the town of San Francisco, the way that they design the town. It just looks very gorgeous. Like San Francisco, like I just love how it's a mix of San Francisco and Tokyo, which actually makes sense if you think about it. And it actually makes me want to go there. Yeah, I mean the city, especially at night, just the visual of it all, just wow, chef's kiss. Yeah, beautiful visuals. Just the beautiful, and the action scenes are just super well animated. Y'all know I love and defend smooth animation. I'm sick of people criticizing animation for being too smooth, not cartoony enough. Did you even see Fred's character? He was very cartoony, and even like this certain scene which I'll talk about in a bit, where Tadashi was like became cartoony because he was so excited that that his Baymax finally worked, and I'll get to that scene later on. By the way, yeah, like there are still some cartoony bits in this one, so I don't know why people just keep complaining about 3D animation being smooth when there are cartoony elements. And yeah, the action scenes, while the action doesn't come until later on in the film, the superhero stuff is awesome. It ain't lame, y'all. The superhero stuff ain't lame. Yeah. And also, not to mention, I love how this movie has some Easter eggs and references to not only previous Disney movies, but future Disney movies as well. Like for example, everyone talks about that Han statue that Baymax destroyed. Yeah, that was hilarious. And Han, you deserve that. You deserve that for being a bad Swiss villain. And also, am I the only one who noticed the pink hair girl in the beginning scene of the movie, the scene with the bot fighting, is literally very similar to the pink hair girl in the Slaughter Race scene, the game IP girl, the one who challenges Shank in that racing game scene, Slaughter Race. Yeah, they could be the same character. Yet I have this theory. They are the same character. Yeah, I think that because she looks exactly like that, and it's part of the Walt Disney Animation Studios canon in the same era. So that might be something. Okay, I want to get this one out of the way. It's probably the thing I love about Big Hero 6 the most. Now, yes, Big Hero 6 is actually one of those movies where people can have different perspective, whether they just watch this movie on the outside, and some who would look deeper into the movie. Maybe the reason as to why people don't care about this movie and think it's mid is because they only watch this movie for the outside. They like what do I mean by watching it on the outside? Well, basically, they think that, oh, it's just a paint by the numbers story. Yes, on paper it is that, but on the inside, if you actually watch this movie and look deeper into it, it's actually very deep and very complex. Like all the superhero stuff is in the second act, but this movie, like for the most part, has so much drama to it. Like it can almost be an art house movie, an independent, like almost like an independent superhero movie. Yeah, like that's something we never had, and I think we should have that. Well, maybe James Gunn's Super. I think that will count. Although I haven't seen that one yet. But so yeah, but yeah, this feels like a drama, like a bit more drama and superhero, and not to mention as well. But now let's get to the highlights. This movie deals with the death of a loved one. Yeah, it is. The message of this movie is overcoming, overcoming death, and that life doesn't go the way life doesn't always go the way you expect. That is such an original message, and for Disney to actually tackle themes of death and grief and trying to get over it. I mean, wow. I mean, I can't believe a movie did that. The movie actually did that. Yeah, sure. Themes of grief and death were used in a few other Disney movies like Bambi and Lion King, but this one had such an interesting approach to it because in Lion King's, like, I think that Simba literally ran away scot free. He didn't know that Scar killed his father. He didn't, and he just straight up ran away all that stuff until later on when he realizes he's gone done wrong and must go back to learn and to realize his responsibilities. But with this movie with Big Hero 6, I mean, it's more unique, more interesting because Hero actually already knew that Tadashi died, and this mask guy, did it. It was responsible for it. So Hero's like going all out in revenge, getting revenge on the guy who murdered the Tadashi because he just surely wouldn't let go of Tadashi's death. And yeah, and by the way, yeah, Disney continuing to take risks with their movies. Man, that's why I love Disney. Because, again, they take risks. They actually kill off characters, yet, or at least harm them. I mean, you saw, like, Gothel brutally stabbing Flynn Rider with a sword. We all know about Mufasa's death. I mean, one of the most famous death scenes in all of movies. Either that or Iron Man's death in Endgame. And now Disney's doing it again with Tadashi. I mean, man, I mean, never in a million years, but I thought that a kid-friendly studio would actually do that. And for people to think that Disney is too kiddie, like, please just, I don't know, just get a life, go touch grass. If you think that Disney movies are for kids. So yeah, this movie is very risky and bossy as well. And I've said that and Hiro Hamada is such a very interesting character with very interesting character deaths. Character deaths. I mean, Hiro is wait, how do I say this? I kind of relate to Hiro a bit, not as much as a few other Disney characters like Anna, but Hiro is someone I relate to because. Hero starts off as just this guy who, like, he finished high school too early, so he's like, yeah, I'm just in my own age. I could do whatever I want, even if it's, like, he makes his own choices. That even if, he thinks that, he doesn't, even though his choices are not the best, I mean, he does things that makes him lose my mind. I mean, to me as well, I mean, when I'm not in school, I always do things that make me lose my mind, and so I can see myself with Hero and that. Although when it comes to losing family, I don't really agree with that. I just it's very easy for me to let go of it. So I wouldn't say I relate to him in that aspect. But yeah, I mean, heroes Hero would be how do I say this? I mean, Hero has like great character development because he went from just a street rat. That's like someone who not really a street guy because he's kind of rich, I guess, but he spends his time bot fighting, and which is basically gambling, and then actually just goes hero for it, and then and he realized, oh no, what am I doing? Why am I bot fighting? I'm regretting all of it. I think I should do something useful in my life. Yeah, it helped me realize that maybe there's something useful in my life I can do. Maybe there's a talent that I can acquire. Although I already know some of my talents. I already know some of my talents, and I think you've seen them. You've seen my talents on my channel. Yeah, being a good critic can also be kind of a talent, I think. But yeah, Hero's growth, like as a character, yeah, I love Hero's growth as a character from being, in the mindset of I don't know what I'm doing to like, just actually taking Tadashi's advice. Also, yes, I love this quote from Tadashi. Think like, think your way out. Think your way out of the problem. Look for a new angle. Yeah, that's something that I've actually learned over the years. Yeah, every time I had a problem, I always get stuck with like not being able to think of a new angle. But now, I'm able to think of a new angle when I make a mistake and know that I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. Like, I mean, not really in a sense of this. Oh, they're trapped by microbots. They're trapped by microbots. All that stuff. Yeah, that is. I mean, I'm talking about that. Metaphorically. And I actually truly relate to that message. Yeah, that's actually one of the message that this movie conveys. Thinking of a way, of a different way out of the problem. Don't let your problem affect you. You can think of another way. Don't just stick to one plan. And man, he really is such a great leader. Almost like me. Like I always, I mean, I love being a leader, especially in school projects. So Hero being a leader I can actually see myself in that. Yeah, like if ever I have make my own superhero team, I'd love to be the leader of it. Be the leader of it. Yeah, and Baymax. Yeah, Baymax. Pretty much everyone's favorite character. I mean, Baymax is everyone's favorite character in the film, and I can totally see why. I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but he is certainly one of my favorites. I absolutely love Baymax. I mean, he's such an adorable robot. I mean, how could you not think he's adorable? I mean, he's such a great robot. Like, especially when he likes to help people. Like, he loves to help people with his healthcare. He literally, like, he's not just some robot who just like who just made just because it looks cool. He could like be a robot. I mean, Baymax is the best robot character in any movie. Yeah, sorry, Wally characters. Move aside Wally and Eve. Yeah, we got a winner for the best robot in a Disney movie with Baymax. Yeah, love Baymax. Love Baymax. But I think Baymax wouldn't have been made without Tadashi. Yeah, I think Tadashi would probably be my favorite male character in the movie. Yes, sure, Tadashi it may only be in the movie for the first 30 minutes, but man, I mean the first 30 minutes of the movie, Tadashi seems like probably the nicest character in the movie. I mean, he takes such great care of Hiro. He almost feels like a father figure to Hiro in some ways. I mean, he teaches Hiro the way of he teaches Hiro about life, about his life, and he gives Hiro so much advice. It's like I already mentioned, look for new angles and think your way out of this problem. Advice he gives, but he's just very supportive of Hiro and yeah, I mean, I wish I had a brother like that. Even though I'm the older brother, sometimes I really want to take inspiration from Tadashi. Yeah, and I mean, I wish I related to him as an older brother myself, but yeah, I mean, I'm not as good as Tadashi, honestly. I'm not as good of an older brother as Tadashi is, and I'm kind of jealous of that. And yeah, sorry, excuse me. But yeah, my personal favorite character in the movie would be a tie between Go-Go and Ancast. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh, you only say that because they're both hot. Kinda, that's kind of the reason, but at the same time, I just love Gogo and Oncast. Like, I just love their charm. Gogo is like this very tough girl. Like, I love her character the most because of how just tough and serious she is, and I absolutely love that. Almost like an anime style look, I should say. And her power is the coolest. Yeah, I mean, power is the coolest. I love Wasabi, Fred, and Honey Lemon. Oh yeah, also on cast as well. On cast is one of the best aunts. Yeah, honestly, on cast is the best aunt, and I even think on cast is better than on May. I mean, she acts like it's like such a mother to Hiro and Tadashi, and I wish I had a mother like on cast myself. That would be awesome for me to get a mother like that. To have a mother like that instead of a strict mother who always rages all the time and treats me like a kid even though I'm 19. And yeah, as for Wasabi, Fred, and Honey Lemon, I mean, they're great as well. They're not the best, but they're great. I know many people say Honey Lemon's attractive, like more attractive than Gogo, but I find Gogo more attractive. I mean, Honey Lemon, I mean, I love Honey Lemon. Like, I love her cartoony nature, her energy, and all that stuff. She's almost just as energetic and quirky as Anna and Asha. Well, based on the marketing so far, but based on the marketing, like seeing Asha quirky and very quirky in the promo. But yeah, I just don't think she's nearly as attractive as everyone thinks she is. But I still love Honey Lemon. I love all the team. I think the chemistry just works so well, and I love how they all use their powers. I love how they all use their powers. Maybe not the most original powers, but quite original. Like, well, I can't say original because they're based off the comics. So obviously those guys were taken up by the comics. And by the way, I know nothing about the comics. I only know the fact that it exists and it exists, and this movie is based on it. So that's all I know. And yeah, Fred is hilarious as well. Fred and Wasabi are hilarious. I mean, are hilarious. And this movie has a hilarious jokes as well. Yeah, this movie has some of the best comedy I've ever seen in a Disney movie. But and although I know you're saying, oh, but this isn't this movie dark and deals with grief and depression. So why is there comedy? Well, yeah, true, but the comedy in this movie just works so well. You got some very hilarious moments like when Baymax fist bumps. He's like ba la la la. Oh man, what iconic joke it is. And also probably to me the funniest scene in the film when the funniest scene in the film when they all like go inside this ship, and then they hear something and instantly just overreact, like trying to throw their powers at who they think is yokai, but actually it's just a pigeon. And yeah, that was probably the funniest scene in the film to me. Every time I watch that scene, I always die with laughter. Yeah, that was just comedy gold right there. And what else is there to mention? Yeah, such great comedy leaves. Oh yeah, let's talk about the villain now. I mean, Yokai is such a cool villain with a mask on, with a mask on, and in some ways, this is actually Scream as a superhero movie because you imagine Yokai as Ghostface, and he's like on the run, and they're all investigating. Investigating about who this guy is, and like that's their mission, to find out who's behind the mask, and they all like make some theories. Oh, it's this guy. Oh, it's that guy. They thought it was Cray, but actually it's Callahan. It's Callahan. Yeah. And by the way, and yes, I know Callahan is one of the twist villains, and everyone is just sick of twist villains from Disney. Even though we only have three twist villains, so yeah, yeah, what was I gonna say? Honestly, I defend Callahan. I mean, he is a much better twist villain than Hans. Than Hans. I mean, because unlike Hans, who literally had that one major plot hole, I would say that Hans would have been a good villain if it wasn't for that one plot hole. One plot hole. I mean, that yeah, one plot hole. I mean, but yeah, Callahan is better in some ways. Yeah, maybe I will admit that it would have been better if it was Cray on behind the mask than Callahan. It would make sense because Callahan's motivation is revenge. He wants revenge on Cray because Cray Cray made a mistake with his machine. It wasn't safe, and his daughter got trapped there. And then Callahan says it's because of Cray's arrogance, like the fact that Cray knew it was safe, but he didn't really care about it. Yeah, that is actually a villain arc for Cray right there. But Callahan not being the villain actually does make sense. And not to mention, you really feel sympathy for him. For him, all he wants is to get his daughter back. Yeah, all he wants. Yeah, again, maybe Cray would have been a better villain. It would have made sense more because Cray would have how do I say this? Cray would have done something like attempt to kill Callahan's daughter, but our revenge story actually makes sense. At least it wasn't the Tadashi behind the mask. Oh boy, that would have been messed up. And I haven't forgotten before this movie came out when I saw the trailers and they showed so much of the yokai and people in the comments were like trying to discuss about who's behind the mask, who's yokai. Yeah, and you know who they were predicting is they were predicting is behind the mask, Tadashi. I mean, I was like, no, don't do that, don't make Tadashi. And I will admit, when I was watching this movie, I was actually kind of worried. I was worried that they were going to make Tadashi the guy behind the mask. And I was so worried. I was like, when they were like about to when they were about to re- when Hiro actually took off the yokai's mask and yokai was slowly releasing himself in the theater, I was shaking. I was like, please don't be Tadashi, please don't be Tadashi. But when it was Kazen, I was like, okay, thank God it's not Tadashi. At least not Tadashi. Because here's the thing, Tadashi just seems way too likable to be a villain. Based on what he does, like being just almost like a father to Hiro, being a perfect brother to him, and just constantly helping him out and all that stuff. How could he be a villain? How could he be behind the yokai mask? That makes no sense. Whatsoever. That makes no sense. And all that stuff. But Callahan at least but Callahan is such an underrated villain, man. I don't think these Disney revival age twist villains are nearly as bad as everyone says it is. And maybe can you guys just please stop talking about it, saying like y'all keep bringing up the fact that these Disney revival age twist villains they're bad, they suck, they keep doing it all the time, even though there are only three and they were in the last decade and with all films like Moana, Frozen 2, Frozen 2 kind of had a twist villain, but not like in the same sense as Hans, Bellwether, and Callahan, and Raya, Encanto, and the upcoming Wish, even Strange World, there was no twist villain at all. So, y'all just can't see that. But y'all keep saying, oh, I guarantee Disney's probably going to make a twist villain. I guarantee that. Please stop that. Please stop making up those theories. I wonder if Disney will actually do that though. But maybe they're actually aware that these twist villains get so much these movies that get criticized for being twist villains. Maybe Disney actually listened to our criticisms and decided to just stop with it. And yes, Disney has done far worse twist villains than the ones in the Disney revival era. Cough, cough, Sugar Plum Fairy in Nutcracker, The Four Realms. But yeah, so yeah, that's all I can say. I truly defend Callahan and. And also the music as well. No one talks about the music. Yeah, the music is really underrated, and Henry Jackman is such an underrated composer. The music is so memorable here. Despite this movie not being a musical, there is like such great there are just such great soundtracks here, like dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. But yeah, Henry Jackman, yeah, he deserves more credit. And I haven't seen him compose an animated movie. like in recent years. I think he should go back to that and show that. And the soundtrack is killer. I mean, you got the one soundtrack in the movie. We gonna be immortals, immortals. Yeah, love that song. And there's even like other songs. I like such great soundtracks. Like you remember history, remember me for centuries. I'm not sure if that was a part of Big Hero 6, but I love that song. Centuries is probably my favorite song of 2014, honestly. I just love that incredible song. And also, oh yeah, my personal favorite Big Hero 6 song, I know this was made for Big Hero 6, even though the song was not played in the movie, but I'm pretty sure it was played in the end credits, on top of the world, on top of it all, trying to feel invincible. Yeah, yeah, that song right there. So yeah, even if you make some people may complain, criticize this movie for not having Disney songs. I mean, does this movie need a traditional Disney villain song? It doesn't need it. It doesn't need one, but you already have a killer soundtrack with those ones. And yeah, oh yeah, and also I cannot forget to mention this. This movie can get emotional at times. Yeah, yeah, especially with that one emotional scene, and what I consider my favorite scene in the film. This is my last point before I wrap things up. The scene when I'm sure throughout the movie they might keep saying Tadashi is here, but he was like, no, he's not here. But what Baymax was trying to say is that it's a metaphor. Baymax shows on the screen Tadashi trying to build Baymax, trying to test Baymax, but it certainly works. And yeah, he showed Hero the footage of that, and then Tadashi says this very emotional thing about I'm very happy. You're gonna make the world so proud. I'm satisfied with my care, and then we see Hero actually in tears, and like his depression, literally his grief, literally goes away when he sees that, because he knows that Tadashi is in his heart, and he can just look at Tadashi footages of Tadashi through Baymax, and that is just so emotional. And then seeing Hero's friends come to comfort Hero, and yeah, and seeing Hero hug Gogo, oh man, I ship them. Yeah, I ship Hero and Gogo. Yeah, they deserve to be a ship, not not Ryan and Namari. Not bad ship. Yeah, Hero and Gogo should be shipped. So yeah, oh yeah, so I mean, are there any negatives I have with the film? Oh, absolutely not. However, I will say though, I do have one nitpick with the movie. There's a scene when Hero was like, still grieving over like Tadashi's death. He says that Hero says that he's in pain, but then Baymax just says, I don't sense any pain. But yeah, but we all know that Hero is in a psychological pain, not a physical pain. So therefore, Tadashi didn't build Baymax to cure people from their psychological pain, only their physical pain. But I mean, Baymax is technically a doctor robot, so I feel like Baymax should also be programmed to fix people psychologically, not physically. So yeah, that's one thing I should this movie should improve on. But yeah, so overall, yeah, what else can I say about Big Hero 6? This movie is a masterpiece. I think it is a flawless movie, and it is in my top 50 favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love this movie to death. And I don't care what the naysayers say. I wish this movie still has the same praise as it got back when it came out. It still got the critical rave. And people should seriously talk about this movie, because it is very underrated. People say Wreck-It Ralph is underrated, but actually Wreck-It Ralph, people still talk about this movie to this day. And a lot of people say that Wreck-It Ralph is their favorite Disney revival age movie. So if there's anything that's underrated and anything in the Disney revival era, it's Big Hero 6. Yeah, it's Big Hero 6. So yeah. I would in my favorite movies of 2014 list, I would personally put this at number 3, behind Interstellar and Whiplash. Yeah, they're both my two favorite movies of the year, but Big Hero 6 definitely in the top 3. And this is why I'll question my favorite anime film of 2014. So yeah, goes to show how good 2014 was in the decade. Yeah, not even 2019, the year my favorite movie of all time, Frozen 2, could beat 20 could beat 20 some could beat 2014. Even though 2019 is still my favorite year, because not only because of Frozen 2, but because of some excellent live action movies as well. So yeah. With that said, I'm gonna give Big Hero 6 5 stars out of 5. Masterpiece movie. So also for my review of Big Hero 6, what are your thoughts on the film? Do you agree with me that this movie is a masterpiece and deserves more recognition, or are you with a lot of people that that you consider this movie mid? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Zootopia. Boy, I am hyped as hell to review that movie. So yeah, bye guys.